We're here at the Grand Canyon. Lovely, isn't it? But how long should you stay at Grand Canyon? When I was young, I would stop by on the way to somewhere, LA, Las Vegas, Seattle, and stay for less than an hour. I once had an uncle visiting from Eastern Europe, and I made great effort to get him to Grand Canyon. He stood on the rim, looked for about 30 seconds, and said, "Okay, let's go." Kind of like the Griswolds. But I made him stay on the rim for at least 20 minutes before we drove on to Las Vegas. If you're only spending an hour at Grand Canyon, skip Grandeur Point and the Visitor Center and set your navi or map to Yavapai Geology Museum, where there's abundant convenient parking and thinner crowds. Walk west for 25 minutes, see Grandeur Point, as good a viewpoint as any in the canyon, then walk back to the Geology Museum, more appropriately named the Geology Kiosk, buy a shot glass Grand Canyon souvenir, then move on. At least you've seen the Grand Canyon and you can come back again when you have more time and money. Speaking of money, do realize if you're on a budget, it costs $35 to get into Grand Canyon unless you have the annual pass. But what about when you have more time and more money? I've given advice to a person with kids who plan to stay for 10 days on the South Rim. I mean, I love Grand Canyon, but what can you do to keep occupied with kids for 10 days on the South Rim? There's a real risk of overdosing on the views, and if all you plan to do is drive and look at the views, I think 4 hours is enough. But that's not really appreciating the Grand Canyon. You need to at least get out of your car and walk to appreciate the place. At minimum, if you could afford it, you should spend at least one night at the Grand Canyon. And I mean staying at a lodge which is on the rim of Grand Canyon. Everyone's crazy about sunrise and sunset at Grand Canyon, and if you spend the night, you can see both. But more important to me is the view after sunset. The tourists go away, the guests go to dinner, and you can sit alone on the rim of the canyon and see it fade into a gray that can only be perceived by the human eye. No photo can capture it. That's one of my favorite times at Grand Canyon. And you can leave your room at midnight and walk the rim trail and see the Milky Way. Grand Canyon is a dark skies park, and the view of the stars is spectacular. Bring a star chart or app. I don't know how many city dwellers have never seen the Milky Way, but the view is spectacular, and it helps you to consider your importance in the universe. A night stroll on the rim is unforgettable, and you get it by staying the night. So I would say a minimum of one night at the canyon is desirable. It's easy to occupy a second day at Grand Canyon if you plan. You can drive to Desert View, take a shuttle bus to Hermit's Rest. You can eat at one of the numerous restaurants and even enjoy a drink in one of the 3 bars. And if you have a third day, you can do some interesting hikes. You can hike the rim trail toward Desert View and take a shuttle bus back if you tire. You can drive to the 1-mile walk to the often deserted Shoshone Point and enjoy the spectacular views. Or you can take a free shuttle bus to South Kaibab Trail and walk the 3/4 miles to Ooh-Ah Point, and then just a bit further and enjoy some of the most spectacular below the rim views at Grand Canyon. So to me, 2 nights or maybe 3 at Grand Canyon is the perfect duration of a stay. Like a good entertainer or host, you always want to leave them wanting more. A longer duration could lead to boredom or view overdose, something no one wants to experience. I hope you enjoy your visit to Grand Canyon, and please let me know, for the casual visitor, how long do you think the perfect visit should last? Thank you for watching.